but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Okay, so I'm here for another video, and I know in my last one, I promised that there would be a WWE shop unboxing, but of course, my luck, always the best luck in the world. I placed an order, and I actually did. I can, well, I'll lie about that. There was an order placed. It was a couple Pop Funko vinyl dolls, there was a couple t-shirts, and that was about it. It was morely t-shirts and vinyl dolls. I don't know, WWE changed their website, obviously. And go to place the order, everything's fine, credit card doesn't get charged. I'm like, oh look, they haven't charged my credit card yet. That was 3-4 months ago. And to this day, I go on my account, I look at like order status, and it still says processing. So you know what, I just give up. Forget WWE shop. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes I go full Indian where it's like where I spend 120 bucks, I get all like, oh my god. So, I don't know. There's no shop order coming. Literally, I'm sure if I call them, I'll be like, hey, like there's a WWE shop order I placed about 3-4 months ago, where is it? Then they're gonna like, oh, then the process stage is gonna go a little quick. So I'm just gonna wait until there's a good t-shirt sale. So that's when the thing's gonna come. So I'm sorry for anyone who was looking forward to a WWE shop order. It ain't happening. Now, to the video. Undertaker, he has been the talk of the town for a couple months now, ever since Wrestlemania, about a month now. And there's speculation that he had his last match, and, you know, it was very well orchestrated that, hey, like, Undertaker, you know, took all his clothes off, just left all in the ring. It was pretty clear that this could have been Undertaker's last match against Roman Reigns, and I called it back in January. I'm like, you know what, guys? Roman Reigns is being the Undertaker. And when he beats him, he's gonna send him packing. Me being me, just, you know, trolling everyone on Twitter. I didn't know what would actually happen, to be honest. It was the last thing I expected, was Roman Reigns to actually beat the Undertaker and put him into retirement. But the thing is, with the Undertaker, it's always so unclear on really what the status of the Undertaker is. And this dates all the way back to 27. If you guys remember, Triple H beat the hell out of the Undertaker, and he left on the back of that little car. Everyone's like, oh my god, is the Undertaker coming back? Triple H like beat his ass so bad that he's never gonna return. And there was like talks like Undertaker may be gone, this, that. And what do you know, Undertaker comes back, WrestleMania 28. They named it End of an Era. Like the end. Like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the Undertaker. The end of all of them. They had their little send-off, like all of them all hugging each other. Great. You know, Undertaker has a streak. Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania, Triple H, you know, these guys who really molded together what a whole era of professional wrestling. They're going off to the sunset. Nope. What happens? 29 comes around. CM Punk versus The Undertaker. There was no really big story going into it, but they had the whole Paul Bearer dying thing, and that kind of played into it. And then you had 30 was the big one, where the streak ended. So it's like, oh, streak's over, Undertaker's over, send off. See ya, he was there, everyone clapped him out, thank you Taker chants. Undertaker's gone. Not to be heard from for another year, where he came back and faced Bray Wyatt. Nothing really coming out of that. He went on a whole hell tour, I think. He had 3-4 matches that year against Brock. And then came 32, where, you know, Taker's now looking the same. He's moving a little slower, getting a little grayer. The hair's not flowing like it used to. And he took off the gloves. And I was too busy uploading an Instagram video, so I didn't see this whole glove removal thing. And so apparently he took his gloves off. It's like, oh my god, it's symbolism, like he's gone. Sure. What happens? He comes back the year after. Do you see a trend where it's like, oh, Taker himself, I think, doesn't even know when he's over and done with. He's just going with the flow. I think this year is just the same thing. I do not believe, almost fell, I don't think that we have seen Undertaker's last match. I think he is going to show up next year. No one's expecting him to come. So it's going to be even more amazing when those lights go off and it's like, dong, and you know who's going to be in the ring? John freaking Cena. Yeah, I'm still on that train. I think Cena called him out on SmackDown, where he talked about with him and The Miz. He's like, you know, if it was up to me, I'd be facing The Undertaker. It's going to happen. Call me crazy, call me whatever, but I think that Undertaker's going to wrestle on his own terms. He said himself that he feels like he's 23 years old, but his body obviously isn't feeling the same way. If this guy has it in his mind already that, you know what, I have no pressure to come back. I can come back if I feel good. You know, I'll message Vince March 30th. I'll be like, hey, look, hey, brother, like, could I have a match? And yeah, sure. Here's Cena. Have him. Go at it. Have at her, bud. So there's groups of people who want Taker to have this match or that match or this match. I think there's 3 main ones right now, if I can remember. John Cena being one of them, which is the one I'm on. You have the Finn Balor people, then you have a Chris. There's a small but a very amount of people that want a Jericho versus Undertaker match, and that brings me to a little story that I just came to my mind now. Beat the streak mode in SmackDown vs. Raw 14 or 15. Chris Jericho's my guy in SmackDown vs. Raw. That's who I play with. And I remember, and I'm sure everyone had this old thing, it doesn't matter which video game it was, when you face someone and you have a 5-star match, like literally in your mind. You're like, man, if this match just happened in the ring and not over PlayStation, classic. Instant classic. And that's what happened when I faced The Undertaker in the Beat the Streak mode. It was Chris Jericho versus The Undertaker. I was Chris Jericho. I faced Undertaker. It was incredibly hard, but I did beat him. And we had a classic. And that's when the wheels started turning. I'm like, can you imagine if these two had an actual match? Incredible. It would have been great. So for a while, I was on that Jericho bandwagon. I'm like, man, get Jericho and Taker in there. You know, if it was his last match, you know, great. You know, he deserves to, like, hang it up. He's done more than he should have in this little wrestling world. And just, he took the hat off, took the gloves off, and they just sat there perfectly. I was sitting there, I was literally in awe, and I was looking at Justin, who Undertaker's his favorite wrestler. This guy is just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, on his phone. But the fact that the stuff was there, sitting in the ring, 45 minutes after the show was over and no one even touched it, that just shows you how respectable, like, what a man, like, what a legend. True, like, that's the one word you can really describe The Undertaker being, is a legend. Just how much of a legend that man really was. But then there's the reality of things where it's, in the wrestling business, never say never. And if a guy wants to come back, and I feel like Taker has it in him. I think the match with Roman wasn't all that bad. And I think there's one more in him against John Cena in New Orleans, where the streak ended. It just, imagine. When I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, WrestleMania is not going to be the same without The Undertaker. So maybe I'm just in denial. But I truly believe that Undertaker's got one more in him. Yeah. But yeah, that's the video. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know who you think. Hey, let me know who you think Undertaker's going to face, if he is going to come back. I feel like he is, obviously. But yeah, that's it. See you guys in the next video.